Oh, guys. I have been saying for a very long time, I feel like I got a little bit too much credit for saying this obvious thing and making this obvious point, but we're ticking closer and closer to a big gambling scandal. Now, we don't really have a big one right now, but we did get word that Malik Beasley is under investigation by the feds for gambling. I can only presume that this news has been leaked because Beasley is a free agent and somebody needs us all to understand why it is that nobody's going to sign him. And it is probably going to be this because it is too risky. I have no idea if Beasley actually did what he is accused of or being investigated for. That is a better way to put it. Our guy, Tom Haberstroh, did a really interesting look at the allegations or what the investigation is in a game that in the report that Shams Charania did for ESPN, a game that they're looking at is when Beasley played a game at the Portland Trail Blazers, and it was an over-under bet on rebounds, and that right before the games, there were a lot of bets on rebounds, right? On his over-under for rebounding. But the thing is, there was a huge surge of action on the under, and Beasley went way over. And Haberstroh looked at the clips, and it does not look like he was out here trying to do what they said. Like the eyeball test, at the very least, did not match. Again, I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but Haberstroh did a really interesting look at it, and on its face, it is not a slam dunk case against Malik Beasley, okay? I think thus far the league is fortunate that all the stories that we have heard about are about props, okay? And I don't think the general public cares about Malik Beasley running game on props. Like him running game on how many rebounds he gets, I don't think the general public cares about that. I think the general public cares about point shaving and fixing games. That's the concern. And so when these stories come out like these, like Jonte Porter the same way, I don't think anybody cares about that. I don't. I think it matters within buildings, and teams have to make decisions about whether they're going to have those guys. But this is not the stuff that threatens the integrity of the game. That hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. I don't see any way that anybody can think that it's not going to wind up coming. And the reason that I think it's going to wind up coming is I think it's so incredibly stupid to try to run the game that they're trying to run on Malik Beasley, for example. So let's say for a moment that Beasley was in on some kind of fix, right? And all these people rush and put this money in on his under for rebounding, because the under is really the only part that you can feel confident that you can fix, right? So let's say the Beasley comes in and hits the under on the rear. Everybody puts in the money on the under for rebounding. Ryan, I think you've seen this also. The way that they catch you is that once you have this odd betting behavior, this unusual amount of activity, they take it off the board and now they start paying attention because they're like, who are all these people? Who are all these people that care about Malik Beasley getting rebounds?
It's the thing that always blows my mind about these stories is, the way they always phrase it is defrauding a gambling enterprise. Yes. You know what the normal way of saying that is? Trying to steal from a casino.
Yes. Which all of us know. Terrible idea.
Yeah.
We've all seen the movies.
Oh, yeah, we've seen the movies. It's very difficult.
Excuse me, sir. Why don't you come back here and get your check, huh? Yeah. Back in this other room. And the next thing you know, you got your finger in a vice. No. They're going to notice all these. Who the fuck is betting on Malik Beasley getting rebounds? You understand what I'm saying? Like, the caliber of player that gets caught up in this is the caliber of player nobody bets on. Like everybody.
It's a very easy thing to catch.
It is a very, you know why it's a very easy thing to catch? Because they got a whole department whose entire job is catching you do these things.
It's catching you stealing from the casino.
Hold on, the casino, not the bodega. The casino. You might be able to shoplift from the bodega. That's fine. The Nordstrom looked like Howard Hughes with the room with all the screens on it. They gonna get you, right? And so the caliber of player that gets caught up in this is typically a guy like this. And I just feel like everybody involved Why do you think you can get away with this? Now, maybe you think you can get away with it because you get away with it once and they let you get away with it once and then they just let it keep going and you too stupid to realize that they just letting you rack up a felon, right? You don't understand that that's the direction that this is going in. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But this is the small part. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. And the more and more it happens, the more it eats away at the integrity of the sport. And that's when this all falls apart. This is not wrestling. What makes this compelling is the real live drama that is involved, and it is based on the sanctity of what happens. And so, like I say, it's a thin line. I think people can live with the props. Once it takes one more step. And look, I saw something, and I don't understand this one. And it's a game. Now, this is pretty hilarious. It's a game where Malik Beasley, Malik Beasley scores like 7 points in the last minute of the game. And the Timberwolves then covered. Like they were something like 8.5 point underdogs. And they wound up covering because he went on this barrage at the end of the game. But that, if you bet on your own team to cover, or you're part of an operation that bet on your own team to cover, like it's a bad idea. You shouldn't do it, right? But that's not the one I think that's going to really shake people up that much. That's part of why people wanted to let Pete Rose slide. It's because, hey, well, he always bet on his team. That one doesn't really offend people in this way. But it's going to go farther and farther, and the assumption always is that somebody who does this, like Jonte Porter, is desperate and owes people money. And that's how they get caught up. This gambling thing is going to hit our entire society. It's going to. And the reason is very simple. It's one thing when you had to go to the track to bet, but now the OTB is in your pocket. Right? Like I think I told you, I was reading this book that made a very important point about being online is that online used to be a place you had to go. Right? You had to sit down at your computer and next thing you know, you was online. Well, now online is a place that goes everywhere that your phone goes. You're always online. That means with the casino that you're always at the casino. Somebody is going to get themselves in this trouble because it's almost impossible not to. We are addicted to our phones as is. You think somebody's not going to get addicted to the part of the phone that you can make money with? It's going to come. It's here, right? And so these slow trickle of stories that's coming out, okay. My question is, what else they know? Do they know something else? How tough is this going to get? How far is this going to go? And when is it going to happen?